Since Christians were fed to the lions and they're in a show this dangerous, a ticket is good for a seat, but you'll only use the edge. He turns every city into a giant mud pit. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to introduce a man of many masks. Please welcome Jim Rose!
Brothers and sisters of Tulsa to Secrets of the Strange. Now, in the early 1980s, I met a young lady that talked me into joining a European art community that changed my life. She's from a circus family in France. Her brother's the director of the Royal Deluxe, the largest circus in Europe. Her sister is a plate spinner, unicyclist, and juggler with the Rondolini Circus. But it was her act that caught my eye. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd now like to introduce to you my wife, Bibi the Circus Queen! Hello, Bibi! Hey, you brought a present! Oh, it's a pet! Is it a little kitten? No. Is it a little puppy? No. It's alive. Scorpion. Verify it's real. Verify it's real. Verify it's real. Just say yes, it's real.
Real.
Okay, verify it's real. Say yes, it's real.
Real.
Now the reason we have to look at a car accident is because we can't help ourselves. Anytime a human is in an unfamiliar situation, we have to look. A person gets tired of dirt in their mouth, so they wash their food off in the river. People see this, and 500 years later, everyone's washing their food. It's how we evolved, and that's why it's perfectly normal human behavior to watch me place the scorpion on Bibi's face. Oh, it wants to live on your nose. Let go of that fucking string, you scorpion. And now, we can make this very dangerous, the kiss of death. We give you the same energy you give back to us. So on the count of 3, everybody scream, clap, blow a fucking hole in the roof, and I'll place it into her mouth. Don't let it down, Tulsa. Let's go. 1, 2, 3! Oh! She'll be with us all show long, but for now, give it up for Bibi, the Circus Queen! Nobody in the audience should get hurt tonight, but the safest place is right up here on stage with me. Now I'm going to come out now and personally select one of you to protect. I'm going to pick one of you to protect. What's your name? Dave. Dave, give Dave a big hand. Come on up, Dave. Come on up, Dave. There you go. Get up there and sit down, Dave. Get up there and sit down. All right, Dave, let's see if you can follow instructions. Shake your head, yes. Perfect. Put your hands together like you're praying, Dave. Put your hands together like you're praying, boy. Look up at the Lord. Now get on your knees. Get on your knees. I'm going to protect you. Keep your hands together like you're praying. Look at the Lord, boy. Look at the Lord, boy. Stand up, Dave. Keep your hands together. Keep your hands together like you're praying. Walk back to your seat. Keep your hands together like you're praying, Dave. You can take your hands apart. That was hypnotism. He did what I told him to do. You see, stage hypnotists use that long look into my eyes presentation to disguise how abrasive they have to be, brothers and sisters. Now, the private hypnotists use a bright light, amplified tape loops of breathing to help us stop smoking, etc. We can only be hypnotized if somebody puts us in an unfamiliar situation and confuses the brain so that it can no longer filter the spoken word. Now, I brought Dave onto this stage. That's the unfamiliar environment. Lights were in his eyes. A lot of people were watching him. Some of them are his friends, but most of you are strangers. There was a lot of thoughts shooting around in his head, and it was just easier to do what I told him to do. Now, my friends, I gotta tell you now, high-pressure salesmen, con artists, they're also under this umbrella, and these human manipulations are a folk art. When I first started this show, I brought a man up on this stage, and he wouldn't look me in the eyes. He wouldn't do what I told him to do. And the pressure, brothers and sisters, switched over to me. So off the microphone, I whispered into his ear, just play along. And after the show, I'll give you $100. As soon as I said it, he caressed his breast like a woman. He rolled around on the floor like a pig. He simulated masturbation. As soon as he was through humiliating himself, I said, stand up. And before I count to 3 to bring you up from under hypnosis, I want to leave you with one powerful thought. For the rest of your life, you will believe and tell your friends that Jim Rose owes you money. 1, 2, 3, and I got him off the stage as fast as I could. That fucker's probably still telling people, but Jim said he'd give me the money. Jim said he'd give me the money. His friends are going, yeah, right. Bullshit. Now then, I want to stop this show real quick to mention how I spent last night. Brothers and sisters, I spent last night in the Tulsa East Side Jail. Fucking cops busted me with some pot last night. You'll read about it in the papers. But I got to meet your finest real well. So now I feel like I'm one of you. I didn't get out till 7 o'clock in the fucking morning. And they finally fucking bonded me, man. It was less than a gram of pot. I can't believe I gotta fucking go to jail for that. Anyway, now then, I watched all of you as you came in tonight. You know I did. You saw the security camera on stage. I know you better than you think I do. I watched every one of you. For example, you, sir, that chair's wobbly, isn't it? I know it is. I saw it an inch off of the back left leg. And the reason you're in it is because you got here late. And that was the closest seat without having to sit on the floor. That was the first guy that was in it right there. And he left it for somebody else to be uncomfortable, didn't you? And now you, sir, that was me. I left a $10 bill on your chair. And you were faced with a social dilemma. First, he held it out on his leg in case somebody came to reclaim it, didn't you? About 20 seconds later, he looks around, see if anyone's watching him, and he crumples up half of it into his fist, didn't you? 10 seconds later, the only motion was that fucking hand as he grabbed it all. Ladies and gentlemen, that man now has my $10 in his pocket. Most of you would have done the same thing. Nobody came back to reclaim that money. The social embarrassment comes from greedily grabbing it and shoving it into your pockets. You see, a lot of people are greedy, but the rest of us let every dime slip through our fingers. So it's nice when life lets us win one every now and then. Brothers and sisters, I know you so well that I can read your minds. I can read your minds. I want you, sir, to count the number of coins in your pocket. Not how much they add up to, but the number. Start reaching into your fucking pockets. Thank you, sir. It'll save some time if you'll just start doing what I ask you. All right. Reach into that pocket. Count the number of coins. What's your name? Huh? Kyle. I'm going to write your name right here, Kyle. That's with a Y, isn't it? I knew that. I read your fucking mind. All right. Now then, Kyle, just think of the number of coins. Think of the number of coins. I want to read your mind. All right. I know how many you got. I wrote it down. There you go. There's the pencil, baby. All right, Kyle, go ahead and tell the rest of the audience how many coins you got in your pocket. How many? Huh? He said 5. Go ahead and prove to them that I wrote 5 down there. Make sure Kyle gets that as a souvenir. Now, if I could take my mind, Kyle, and tell you how many coins you got in your pocket, let Kyle have that. Very good. Then I should be able to use extreme concentration to disrupt an inanimate object. Verify that's a real spoon. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The bending of a spoon, ladies and gentlemen, telekineticists believe this is the ultimate test in extreme concentration. Let's keep an eye on the spoon. Let's keep an eye on the spoon is bending. The spoon is bending. This spoon is, it's bending, it's bending, it's bending, it's bent. Now, if I could take my mind to tell you how many coins you have in your pocket, use extreme concentration to disrupt an inanimate object, I should be able to take my mind into the future. Many cultures do it different ways. Palm reading, tarot cards, tea leaves. I can tell you your future just by looking at the bottom of a shoe. Take your shoe off. Let me see it. Thank you very much. I'll tell you where you've been. Walking in dog shit. This is your future, son. You will be taking a short trip soon. Go get your shoe. All right. Now give me back your shoe. I can't read your mind and tell you how many coins are in your pocket. I can't fucking bend a spoon with extreme concentration. Those are magic tricks. And reading the bottom of a shoe, that's a bar bet to win free beers. You see, nobody is psychic and can tell you your future with accuracy. They shake your hand to see if it's rough or smooth. This lets them know what type of work you might do. They check out the way you're dressed. This lets them know how much money you might have, your appearance of health, your demeanor. Are you calm or nervous? They look for the signal to see what your main interest is. It's usually health, money, or sex. And then they build a positive story around it. They ask you a lot of questions and then feed you back your own facts reworded as though they had made a discovery. Now I still get my palm read because a good fortune teller can help you relax and give you good advice. Now then, you sir, think of a number between 1 and 10. Think of a number between 1 and 10. I'll bet you a beer that I know the number between 1 and 10. All right, did you think of one? I got him, he said yes. All right. I said, did you think of one? He said yes. That's another beer bet. Now then, my friends, you know all my tricks now. So I'm gonna come out into the audience and see how much of this is registered. Who do we want up here? Who do we want up here? Come on, what's your name? Dean, give Dean a big hand. Come on up, Dean. Get on up there. Get on up there, Dean. All right, Dean, turn around. That's it. All right, look me in the eyes. Close your eyes. You're not gonna do it. Oh, you're learning. That's not so bad. Hey, what's that? Gotcha. All right, now listen. Dean. All right, you've learned all my tricks, right? Go ahead. You can go now. You can go. Hey, Dean, did you forget something? I got your wallet. Come here. Is that your girlfriend in there? She sure is ugly. Now listen, I asked you to close your eyes, didn't I? And you wouldn't do it, would you? Don't fuck with you. Don't fuck with your bros. Here's your wallet. All right, there you go, there you go. There you go. That's all right, that's all right. Hey, Dean, what time is it? Come here, you. It's not to fuck with your bros. All right, don't fuck with your bros. Give him a big hand. He didn't deserve that. He didn't deserve that. All right, you need to help me with an experiment now. You know all my tricks. I've got this pie, and I'm gonna take this pie, and I'm gonna smash it into the face of the first person that I see fear in their eyes. I'm gonna smash this pie into the face of the first person I see fear in their eyes. There are 800 people here tonight. Your odds are good, 800 to 1. This pie is going into the face of the first person that I see fear in their eyes. I'll play you poker. Fear. Fear in the eyes. Fear in the eyes. I chose you, sir. There you go. Here's a towel. You're all right. I'm not going to hurt you. Give him a big hand. Give him a big hand. Fears and phobias, ladies and gentlemen. Fears and phobias. Fears and phobias of the early 21st century. Now, if you're sitting at a park bench and somebody starts up a lawnmower behind you, it'll startle you. We've all had super glue in between our index finger and thumb for a fraction of a second and went and pulled our fingers apart. You see, super glue was invented to seal wounds quickly in Vietnam. More skin friendly than you might believe. Put it in your shaving kit. You can leave super glue in between your index finger and thumb for over a fraction of a second, and you'll still go and pull your fingers apart. Now, if you've got cavities and I chew tin foil, it'll creep you out. And the reason I pointed this man out is because being pointed out in the crowd is one of our biggest fears. But ladies and gentlemen, the fear that we all share is a fear of suffocation. So tonight, BB the Circus Queen is going to help us visually together suffer through suffocation with a plastic bag and an industrial vacuum cleaner. Oh, BB my circus queen. If you ever have a child and something happens to you, I, Jim Rose, will exhibit. Raise that child as though it were my own. I'll never exploit you. Now get into that bag. How long does she stay in there? Can we suck the brains out of her ears? She's gonna turn blue for you, Tulsa. Blue for you. I want everybody to hold their breath. See if you can hold your breath as long as BB. Everybody take a big breath right now. Let's go. 5, 4, 13. It's your Rose Circus. Well, it's 13. How long can she stay in there? I'm seeing brains coming out of her ears. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 13, 12, 11, 9, 8, 7, 8, 4, 13, 12, 11, 10, 19, 18, mention man, I lost count. What's the count? It can't be 5, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 13, 12, 11, 9, 8, 7, 8, 4, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 13, 12, 11, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, letter. Yes! It'll take her a couple of minutes to catch your breath. She'll be right back. She'll be right back. Now, my friends, I wrote a book called Angles, and inside that book, is hundreds and hundreds of ways to win free beers. That's right, bar bets. Hundreds of ways to win free beers. It's also got hundreds of cons and scams in it. One of the scams, I just got a letter from a guy who's been doing it, and he makes over $100 an hour, and it's just barely illegal. What he does is he goes into a dry cleaning establishment. He waits for them to turn their heads. He reaches over the counter, steals a receipt book. He goes somewhere and he writes, stain removal, $19.95, sweater. He takes that receipt into a restaurant, and he says his wife had been in a week earlier, got mustard on her sweater, and the waitress said to bring in the receipt. He always gets the money because it's restaurant policy to never argue over anything under $20. Now, you can go out there and do it yourself, and right there, do 5 or 6 an hour, and there's $100 for you. It's time for my fear, brothers and sisters. I'm going to be the first to show you my fear. And I got to tell you that it is sharp objects. And one of the sharpest things available is razor blades. So tonight, internal juggling, regurgitation, manipulation of the tongue, 4 razor blades, Fred, a lot of luck. Let's see what happens, Tulsa. There's no place Phoebe'd rather be. It's time for the human cannonball. And this is the reason Homer Simpson left the Jim Rose Circus. The wussy. Phoebe's gonna lie on this bed of nails. Have a glass plate placed onto her stomach, and a cannonball will come crashing down to shatter the glass. And tonight, Tulsa, she's gonna do it topless. The physics of the bed of nails is not what worries Phoebe. It's the shattering of the glass. And her eyes are shuddering, shuddering. If she slips, if she's jostled at all, we will have multiple circus queens shuddering, shuddering. I no longer see pupil, only white eyes in the back of the head. Dressed like Ninja Man is measuring, shh. Yes! Show them your back. Show them your back. She'll be out in just a second. She'll be back in just a second. All right, my brothers and sisters. Now, I gotta tell you, a lot of you followed our careers over the years. We've been doing a freak show for the last 15 years. It started off with the amazing Mr. Lipto, who'll be out in a couple of minutes, along with Phoebe the Circus Queen and a dwarf. Now, we used to be touring around in a van, and everybody was able to get to sleep sitting up, except for me. After 4 straight days, I was fucking delirious. I couldn't keep my eyes open. I looked down on that floorboard, and it was a big strop. Half-eaten cans of SpaghettiOs, hairballs, spilled drinks, and a used condom or two. It didn't matter. I was tired. So I found a place to put my head right underneath the dwarf's feet that couldn't reach the floor. I found a place for my left leg. I found a place for my right leg. And even though the shots had gone out a long time ago, I was finally getting comfortable. We rounded a corner. It dislodged an ashtray. Came raining down on top of me, all these cigarette butts. I'm going, oh fuck, this is the entertainment business. And then I realized that we'd be having a kick-ass night after I got out of jail in Tulsa 15 years later. So it was all worth it. So I corralled those cigarette butts into a pile and I laid my head on it. Now it wasn't the freshest bundle I ever put my head on, but it worked and I fell asleep. Now the next morning, Bibi woke me up and she said, Jim, we're at the Canadian border and they want to search our van. I was stuck to that floorboard because it's like rubber cement. She peeled me off that floor. She picked the pillow out of my hair and we got out. They pulled out the bed of nails and said, what's this for? And I said, we're in a circus. And they said, let me see it. They're wearing badges. Could not say no. Did the stunt for them. Pulled out the scorpion. Same thing. We did our entire show in that little no man's land. That frontier. Your parents are coming back from vacation watching all of this. As soon as they were through, they said, come on inside one at a time and bow for a cavity search. Now at that point I realized we could not be humiliated anymore. So I played on the fears and the phobias of those who wear a badge. And I said, officer, when you do my cavity search, you don't have to wear a glove unless you got a sore on your finger. Well, it didn't work. They ended up searching every one of us, except for our little person. Now, our little person, like I said, was a dwarf. And the difference between a dwarf and a midget is that a dwarf is a midget is a perfectly proportionate miniature human being. A dwarf's got a big head, big torso, little arms, little legs. They smile a lot, but life is really inconvenient. When they use the toilet, they can't get to the proper places for hygiene purposes. They got a stick with a clamp on it, and they put toilet paper in there. Now they use that same stick to press buttons on elevators. And hey, they wash it first, and they turn lights on and off. But you know, it's politically incorrect to tour with the vertically challenged, but I say fuck that. If a person's got talent, and you're not bringing them out just to be stared at, they deserve a stage. So ladies and gentlemen, we have a Lilliputian dancing sensation. She was not born like you or I. She's nature's greatest mistake, Tina Small. Tina Small. Tina Small. Did you bring your butt stick? Did you bring your butt stick? Did you bring your butt stick? Butt stick! Culture! Bibi! That's bullshit, Bibi! You're ripping off the nice people in Tulsa! You're insulting their intelligence! Turn those lights out!
Achieve anything, stare into the light, and concentrate. concentrate on what you want. Stare into the light and to concentrate on what you want. This is your opportunity to achieve anything. Stare into the light and concentrate on what you want. On what you want. On what you want. Who, like myself, is interested in spiritualism and other cults that concern themselves with the living and the dead. Regardless of my friend's strange interest in life, he was still capable of shrewd judgment. And in fact, he set himself the task of investigating of all weird and beautiful happenings. He was busy all the time exploring haunted houses, chasing poltergeists, and watching for UFOs. That was my friend. I say was because he's no longer with us. And so I feel justified in telling this story, which but for him, would never have been told. One day I arranged to pay him a visit, and I had only been with him for 10 minutes before he asked me to step into his den for a word in private. When we arrived at the den, he seemed more excited than usual. He told me he was on something big. He told me that he fixed it for both of us to get in on a meeting where certain very rare ceremonies were to be performed. He persuaded me to go with him, and that is how I came. We went to this meeting. About 100 people turned out, and mostly what we saw was fakir rituals that we had seen before at satanic meetings and cult workshops. This is with the exception of the one we had, Christian faith. In the future, we call to the sick and the young. We have somebody with us tonight who is into many doctors, and he can't get the devil's black stuff from his lip. I feel this person's initials are LS. Is there an LS in the audience tonight? Brothers and sisters, Mr. Larry Simpson spends most of his day doubled over his stomach pains. Brother Simpson, wherever you are out there, come on up and let me lay God's healing hands on you. Now, this Mr. Simpson came up on stage and was told to take his shirt off. The preacher put his hands on the man's stomach and concentrated for a few seconds. Then he took a razor blade out and made a small cut just below the ribs. The cut started to bleed, so he stuck his thumb into it, and then his whole hand. He started to feel around inside his stomach, and then he pulled out a piece of meat. He walked around proudly showing the devil's tumor to the audience. He didn't seem to know that people knew it was fake blood, and they had seen him palm the meat. There was no place to hide. He smelled like rotten meat, so he took off his robe, threw it, and washed his hands in shame.
Brothers and sisters, we must beware the charlatans that can tell us they can do something miraculous because they have a direct line to a higher being. And they usually like to prove it with a stunt. And their favorite stunt is lying on a bed of razor-sharp swords, having a concrete block placed onto the chest, and it's beaten with a sledgehammer. You've seen the power team do it. Now then, Rubber Man, do you have any affiliation with a religion?
No.
This will be the ultimate proof. No affiliation with God. Now, my friends, you've seen the Rubber Man on the Guinness Book of World Records. You saw him earlier. He can get in and out of anything. You've just seen a concrete block fall off of his chest. What would somebody like the Rubber Man be afraid of? Brothers and sisters, what does the Rubber Man fear? He fears what every man in his audience fears, and that's having their scrotum stretched out and their testicles smashed with a sledgehammer. Rubber Man, do you fear having your testicles smashed with a sledgehammer?
Yes.
Now, the smashing of testicles with a sledgehammer is random. I may only smash one testicle. And so that both testicles can enjoy the blow, he's got a stick, a concrete block between his legs. He faced his fear. He faced his fear. And now, brothers and sisters, a rebel man came up to me before the show, and he said, Jim, if I face my fear and let you smash my testicles with a sledgehammer, can I play my favorite song? And I said, yes. Now the rubber man tells me that this song will tell you a little about himself. Are you ready, rubber man? Wild thing. He can suck his own dick. He faced his fear and acted weird. Give it up and in, Rubber Man. Now, brothers and sisters, we're going to be at the West Beth Theater in New York for the entire summer season. And before I get to that, I want to mention to you that probably the most difficult thing in the world to do is to tell someone else about a life experience that ripped your insides out. So this may be the toughest part of the show for me, because you see, I was born premature and cross-eyed. That's a true story. Now, I was so small that when my parents took me out of that incubator and brought me home, my first bed was a shoebox. And I don't know how much I weighed, but I hear I was a women's size 7. Now, as far as my eyes go, I don't know what was so interesting about my left eye, but my right eye had to look at it. I couldn't keep my eyes off of each other. Now this affliction skipped a generation. My father was born normal, but my crossed eyes were handed down like fine china by my cross-eyed grandmother. And anytime we were in a room together, I'd hear my parents say, Jim, kiss her on the nose so you two could see each other. That was all in the family. But in public, childhood cruelty is well documented. Kids have seen a cane, a wheelchair, a colostomy bag or two. But crossed eyes stick out like a sad thumb. And brothers and sisters, I was constantly being beaten up and teased. I remember walking down the hall one day at school, and a kid knocked me over, and I said, hey, look where you're going. And he said, go where you're looking. I'd spend hours with my head down, crying my little crossed eyes out. Now one morning during breakfast, my father came in and he said, son, I've worked it out with the doctors. At the end of this school year, at the beginning of the summer, you're going to get corrective surgery. You're going to get your eyes fixed. You're going to get your eyes fixed. That was the happiest day of my life. I went to school and I told everybody, I'm getting my eyes fixed. I'm getting my eyes fixed. But nobody believed me, so they continued to beat me up and to tease me. And I'd say, you just wait. After I get my eyes fixed, if you keep beating me up, I'm going to kick all of your butts. Kick all of your butts. Well, the school year was over. Summer began great. They came, went in, got the operation. Doctor said, leave the bandages on your eyes for 2 weeks so that they can heal. Now, my little brother, who was also born cross-eyed, would take me out for walks. It's like the blind leading the blind. And I felt like a mummified mole, because all the kids would come out and say, mole, mole, come out of your hole. Mole, mole, come out of your hole. And they'd throw rocks at us. And I kept saying, you just wait. When I get these bandages off, if you keep throwing rocks at my little brother and I'm going to kick all of your butts. Kick all of your butts. Went to the doctor, they took the bandages off, wiped the yellow gook out of my eyes, and before I could focus to look into the mirror, I heard the doctor say, it didn't work. We'll have to try again next year. I was still cross-eyed and devastated. I went back to school that year and got the shit kicked out of me. And there wasn't any kicking butts going on. I didn't want to be in public. As soon as school was out, I ran home as fast as I could and waited for my best friend, my father, to get home from work. Now, he was an amateur magician, and the best storyteller I ever heard. We worked on a lot of cool projects that year. Summer came, went in, got another operation. This time, it worked. And I was no longer cross-eyed. I was finally normal. 2 weeks later, some men came around. They were recruiting neighbor hoodlums to vend soft drinks at the state fairgrounds. State fairgrounds back then, mid-sized city, was a cultural hub. Every show came through. You had traditional circus, monster truck show, professional wrestling, jabroni, know your own, along with monster trucks, freak shows, and legitimate theater. I signed up, worked there after schools and summers for many, many years. But the first human marvel act that really made my jaw drop was the human dartboard. And I'd like to do it for you tonight, so let's get serious. And what can be more serious than the human dartboard? It's a thankless job. The last human dartboard had a severe alcohol problem. Historically, human dartboards do. I'm looking for a replacement if you have what it takes to be the new goalie for the dart team. See me after the show with just a plank of wood to protect my spine, leaving the rest of my back exposed to... Oh! I can take another one, Tulsa. Can you? Ha! Animals! But look who's talking. Don't you remember? I had crossed eyes. Oh! Let's hear it. You want one more? What up? I feel nothing. I feel nothing. Oh, I just felt something. Ouch. Ooch. Each. Yes. Now, the first time I saw a human dartboard act, people were fainting everywhere. And later, when I talked to the dartboard and mentioned it to him, this is what he said, and I'll never forget it. He said, a lot of people faint only if you tell them they might ahead of time. It's all the power of suggestion. Over the last 15 years, hundreds of people have fainted during my human dartboard act, but tonight nobody did, because I presented it differently. And I did that to prove the point, and because I wanted you to stick around to see this next man. When I first met him 11 years ago, he came up to me and he said, Jim, I want to be in your circus. I said, well, I'm doing a show at 8 o'clock. By 9 o'clock, we were in jail. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd now like to introduce to you the amazing Mr. Lifto! And the amazing Mr. Lifto always starts his act off with a bang. We taped 100 firecrackers to his naked chest, and we're going to light him on fire! Now then, my friends, the amazing Mr. Lifto, this is the act that sent shockwaves from coast to coast. This is the act that got us thrown in jail. You see, brothers and sisters, the amazing Mr. Lifto's dick is bigger, meaner, harder than the Alaskan black flag, and it carries more spew. He'll freeze your seat before it hits the restroom tile. It's got a heart, a lung, and a mind all its own. Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. We feed it sugar cubes. It's like a baby's arm holding an apple. Harder than Chinese arithmetic. A cat could not scratch it. You can jack up your car or strike a match on it. The amazing Mr. Lifto's dick is so big, it's got an elbow. The amazing Mr. Lifto's dick is so big it's got snow on top during the summer. Only NASA has seen the tip. The amazing Mr. Lifto's dick is so big, it was batting .340 in the minors before it injured its knee. The amazing Mr. Lifto's dick is so big, it doesn't return Spielberg's calls. The amazing Mr. Lifto's dick is so big, it's got a dick, and that dick's bigger than your dick. Now, the amazing Mr. Lifto is going to use the part of him that's most a mister to lift up this replica of the American Liberty Bell to ring in a freedom. And he ripped his penis out on the 9 Inch Nails tour in 1995, so he's got duct tape wrapped around it. Duct tape so horrible looking. We're going to do this as a shadow puppet effect. You know your local laws. You know I was in jail last night. So now it's time for the world famous Lifto swing. Woo-hoo! 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 It's a cuckoo cock. It's a cuckoo cock. What time is it? It looks like, I don't know, high noon. Let's ring in freedom, Lifto. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Let's go to church! Let's go to church! Quit waving that ass in my face. Alright, that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to the amazing Mr. Lifto's world famous stunt. Now, you see the amazing Mr. Lithgow on the Guinness Book of World Records. You've seen his act tonight. What does somebody like the amazing Mr. Lithgow fear? What would the amazing Mr. Lithgow be afraid of? Well, it's the hand challenge, because it's gone wrong so many times before. Tonight we've got 2 hand challenges for Lithgow. He's so afraid we're gonna need some help. What's your name, young lady? Give Danielle a big hand. Come on up, Danielle. Danielle, it's your job to hold his hand on that metal plate. Don't let him pull it back, because he's gonna smash his hand as hard as he can with this can. What is it? Minestrone, jabroni, know your rule. Phase 1, thank you, Danielle. Phase 1. Phase 2 of the hand challenge. The amazing Mr. Lithgow will stick his hand in a raccoon trap. Lithgow, prove to them that raccoon trap's real. I want you to pick it up, smash it into your face with a carrot in your mouth. The amazing Mr. Lithgow, as a young boy, was absolutely petrified of rats. So much so rat traps are put throughout the home. Periodically he would get snared. He'd scream down the halls, traps flapping like medals on a general. He's older now and he needs more. Instead of a rat trap, got a raccoon trap. And to face his fear, he'll stick his hand in it. Don't be a wussy, Lithgow. Send your Rudy Poo candy ass into that trap. Oh, he faced his fear. He faced his fear. How do those raccoons get out of that trap? Why, they gnaw their paws. The most electrifying circus performer in sports entertainment today. The amazing Mr. Lithgow. He'll be back in just a couple of seconds. He'll be back in just a couple of seconds. Now, my friends, we know each other well enough now to get into a geek act. You know what a geek act is? That's where somebody eats a live animal. They'll eat a live animal, brothers and sisters, for fun and profit. And there's always a fist fight at a geek act, and here's why. Because the customers are always disappointed. There's a big banner with a man that looks like he cannot be tamed. They call him the wild man from Borneo, and they promise that he'll eat a live chicken. People buy the ticket. They walk into the tent, and what do they see? They see a man with blood and feathers smeared all over him. They see a chicken running around, and a disgusting filled to the brim porta potty. And they're inside this cage, and this cage is to protect the geek from the audience instead of the other way around, because all he does is pick up that chicken. He bites it where he's been it 100 times before, superficial wound, just a trickle of blood, spears it on his face, chicken's still alive, he sets it down to run around for another show, and that's it. People are furious, and some of them won't leave the tent. And that's when he picks up that porta potty and starts splashing it on. Well, of course it's colored water, but it works. And now another one of those old scams is the Rubber Man Act. The first Rubber Man Act that ever came to the United States looked nothing like the Rubber Man that you saw on my show earlier tonight. It is a complete ripoff. Let's bring out the consummate professional, the amazing Mr. Lithgow. Show him what the original Rubber Man looked like. He's got a swimming cap on. The original Rubber Man would just take rubber bands and he'd strap them across his face. Now, I gotta tell you, it's a great Halloween idea. There's skin contorting out in between those rubber bands. It's hideous, it's horrible, it's horrifying, but it is not a Rubber Man Act. So they were pissed off. Lithgow, I'll see you in 2 minutes. Thank you very much. I want you to verify this is a real forklift retractor telescope. The human blockhead, brothers and sisters. Now, many of you see me do this on the X-Files. I'm Dr. Blockhead on the X-Files. I'll be doing another one of those later on this season. But I want tonight to do something different with you in Tulsa, the city I went to jail in last night. What's so popular about going to jail, man? I don't get it. They don't fucking give you blankets. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I want to show all of you how to do the Human Blockhead Act tonight. All right? Next time I come back to Tulsa, I want the legend to be that you can't go to a party without somebody doing the Human Blockhead Act. All right, I'm going to show you how to do it and tell you how to do it. First, you shove a fork in your nose. Where there is no brain, there is no pain. Hey, don't laugh too much. That's a negative reflection on me. Hey, look, Tulsa, I can get cable. For you to be a human blockhead, this is all you need to know. There's two nasal passages, one that goes up and one that goes straight into a hollow spot into the face. That hollow spot may be bigger for you, sir, but that's another problem. Now, look at an anatomy book. There's a hollow spot in there, hence serves no purpose. What you do is you leave the passage that goes up alone, you find the one that goes straight into your face, and you just keep jabbing at it softly, softly, until you get over the sneeze reflex. It takes about a week. Next time I come to Tulsa, I want everybody with a fork hanging out of their nose. You can do it. You can do it, brothers and sisters. You can do it. Now the extraction is far more unpredictable than the insertion. Ow, 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 Ruth Buzzy. Ow, ow, reference lost on younger audience. Ow, there you go. You can do this at your next party. Now, if you want everybody to leave your party, just take that fork and go, they'll all leave. They'll all leave. Now, brothers and sisters, I learned a lot of stunts. I learned a lot of stunts on these circuses. And you know, I used to have a guy that was, used to dance a tango with a chicken. He's dancing tango with a chicken. He'd put the music on ahead of time and bring that chicken out. It'd be kicking and kicking and kicking. Everyone thought it was dancing. No, he put a fucking piece of scotch tape on its foot. That's the reason it was dancing like that. He also used to have a stripper monkey. Same fucking thing. Animals don't like to wear clothes. Monkeys can do something about it. They can take them off. They can take those fucking clothes off. The same thing, put some music on. Used to have kangaroo boxing. Kangaroos can defend themselves with those upper arms. Danger comes when they balance on their tail, use their bottom feet to spring you into next week. They used to say, this isn't cruelty to animals, it's cruelty to man. But I knew different, because at the circus, they used to train the elephants by using a crowbar and beating that elephant and beating that elephant, and they beat that elephant so thoroughly that it cannot stand up or walk for 2 weeks. They've also got a man in a loft hidden from the audience with a BB gun. Every time that elephant comes out on stage, it's his job to shoot it on the left shoulder, on the right shoulder, depending on which way they want it to turn. Now, brothers and sisters, animals give us a lot of conflicting thoughts and emotions. You see an animal hop off into the woods and you go, oh, that's cute. You hear about an elephant getting beaten and you go, oh, that's horrible. And then somebody hands you a little animal all cooked on a plate and you go, oh, that's going to taste good. That's going to taste good. Now, they used to have a stunt that I thought was one of the coolest stunts I'd ever fucking seen. And I didn't want to just horrify you. I didn't want to just shock or terrify you, go to the forbidden part of the zone of the brain. Because you see, they say that in these seminars, the Tony Robbins seminars, that if you can walk across red hot coals, well, you'll have a higher self-esteem and more confidence. But brothers and sisters, just let those coals heat up to the very middle. And then walk across them real fast and get off within 7 seconds. The heat can't register. I just saved you hundreds of dollars. Now, I don't want to do things always that are horrifying and scary. I also want something beautiful and sexy, like Bibi the Circus Queen and her grinder. Oh, wait a second. I want to give away the world's greatest souvenir first. I want to do that before Bibi does her act. You guys have been so good tonight. I want to give away a cool souvenir. Let's see. Who's it going to be here? Yeah, come on up, man. Come on up. Take that hat off. Yeah, you. You look like the guy that arrested me last night. I had one compliment for that policeman. Nice tooth. All right, come here. Turn towards the audience. What's your name? Brett. Okay, and what's your last name? So your initials are BJ. Oh boy, I won't even go there. I bet you've been hassled with that your whole life. Remember, I was born cross-eyed, BJ. All right, give this cross-eyed boy a blowjob. All right, now, I want you to bite into this apple, BJ. Hold it in your mouth. Do not bite through it. Keep it in your mouth like a pig. And we're going to cut your initials into it with a chainsaw. Open wide. Put your arms behind your back. All right, lift out, BJ. Don't move, BJ. World's greatest souvenir. I wasn't gonna do this tonight, but we're having some fucking fun. The energy's great out there, so might as well give away the world's greatest souvenir. There it is, world's greatest souvenir. There you go, BJ. And may all your days be BJ days. Now, brothers and sisters, like I mentioned to you, I saw an act. First time I ever saw BB the Circus Queen do an act. It was absolutely gorgeous. It was beautiful. This was it. I'd like to show it to you. Her grinder and a piece of metal. Oh, fire in the hole! Fire in the hole! It's like a mining accident. Don't send the canary down too far. Oh, it's the backdraft that kills most of the firemen. Oh, blow it out your butt. Blow it out your butt. Now, BB, do something beautiful. Do something sexy. Do something. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now this is the reason. It was so easy for BB to talk me into joining that European art community. That was the first act I ever saw BB do, and I thought, man, that would be cool if somebody could stick their face and light a cigarette. Now let's bring out the consummate professional, the amazing Mr. Lifto. He's gonna stick his face deep into BB's sparky crotch, and he cannot come out until he lights a cigarette. So get down on it. Come on, jabroni. Get down on it. Eat down on it. Oh, he got it, he got it. Lifto, bad example, all ages show. You shouldn't be smoking. Ah, he puts it out on his tongue. I'll see you in just a minute, Lifto. I'll see you in just a minute. Now, my friends, the Rondolini Circus is the circus that BB and I toured with her family in Europe back in the 80s. They're all retired now. It was the last circus, and we're carrying on that tradition of incorporating the psychological with the visual. Now, one of the things they had was a little piglet in a pen in the lobby, and they had a sign on a box right up there in front of it that said, "Name the Piglet Contest." They wouldn't let you in the venue until you filled out that white card. That would create congestion right around there, and you could hear people looking at the tail and saying, "Oh, let's call it Corky. It's so cute, let's call it Screwy." They'd fill out that card, and they'd go into that venue and see a great show, and then they'd say, "Thank you very much for coming," and after the show, and people would walk out, and where that little piglet once was now a man in a chef's hat with a barbecue spit with a little piglet on it selling sunshine sandwiches. Now, it wasn't the same piglet, but it sent people walking out into the streets creeped out. The psychological and the visual, Jim Rose Circus carrying on that tradition. Now tonight, I want to show you something that I've always... What's that? What are you screaming at me for, lady? I got one word for you, and it rhymes with cunt. I said rhymes, runt. All right. I said rhymes. I didn't call... Okay. Now then. Man. You know what? We're having a fucking kick-ass time tonight, man. I hope you are. You know, it's going to be the last tour we can do like this, because we're going to be up in New York for quite a while, and then we're going to be gone. I got a TV show in the fall, so I'm not going to be able to come back for quite a while. This is still going to be a fun night for us. If I hadn't gone to jail last night, it would have been a perfect Tulsa experience. But you'll read about that, I guess, tomorrow. Those fuckers. All right, now. Let's get back to the show here, the show we intended to bring in, not the fucking relaxed one that we're looking in your eyes for. Now, my friends, what the fuck should I do now? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how to do the levitation act. Let's bring out the amazing Mr. Lifto and BB the Circus Queen. You've seen this. How the fuck is it done? We're going to show you right now. I could never find the wires. I could never see the wires when I did this. Rise! Let's show them in Tulsa how to do it. Rise! I don't see the wires. I don't see the wires. I don't see the wires. How does he do it? He does it like this, yes! Baby! You just shot Lifto! The fuck's that all about? That does it. Okay, I'll tell you what, Tulsa. I tell you what, it's time to get serious. There's only two people that have not faced their fears tonight. Rubberman did, I did, Lifto did. BB the Circus Queen hasn't faced her fears, and neither have you. Before we get to your fears and making you face your fears, what does BB the Circus Queen fear? What would she be afraid of? The man that just shot Lifto. Now, we've all been in grade school on a cold winter day when a classmate got their tongue stuck to the flagpole. Well, it happened to BB. Let's bring her out to face her fear. Come on out, BB. Come on out. Now, BB is going to have to let dry ice stay into her mouth for 15 seconds, the risking of ripping off taste buds. She will face her fear. Go, BB. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. She faced her fear. Yes, baby, you can let it out. You can let it out. Now it's time for you, Tulsa. It's time for you. This is going to be like 1,000 firewalks. If you can get through this, if you can get through this tonight, you'll have more confidence, more of an ego. You can't fit your ego into the Trump Tower. You're going to have self-esteem, brothers and sisters. You know I watched you when you came in tonight. You know I know your fears and phobias. Why do you think I picked him to take his watch? I saw it on my monitor. Why do you think I didn't pick you? You got a watch? I didn't pick you because you kept fucking looking at it. That means you depended on time. I know you better than you think I do. We ask you, please, for the next 5 minutes, do not go out any of the exits or to the restrooms. We've just placed large cannons behind those doors. Inside those cannons are thousands and thousands of crickets, maggots, worms, spiders. Do not. If you go out any of those exits in the next 5 minutes, you're going to trigger that cannon. And they're going to all pile up on top of you instead of where they belong, which is on all of you. You're going to have them in your hair. You're going to have them in your clothes. There's so damn many of them, you'll be pulling a maggot out of your butt next week. You're laughing now. Now, at the end of the show, King's Ballroom has staff. It takes 10 minutes. They'll help you pick the insects and the spiders out of your hair and clothes after the show. We also have 7 snakes. These snakes are not poisonous. We're going to put them in each one of your faces. Do not hit at the snakes. Do not hit at the snakes. Brothers and sisters, if you graduate from this warped seminar and face your fear, I promise to do my favorite circus stunt. But now you must face your fear. It's time for the Jim Rose Circus Insect Chainsaw Snakes Stunt Team! Face your fear! Don't stand up! Here comes the insects! Don't stand up! We'll pick them out of your hair and clothes after the show! Watch out for that wheelchair! Here comes the snakes! Do not hit the snakes! Do not hit the snakes! Make them love you! Make them hate you! Make them love you! Make them fear you! Make them love you! Make them hate you! You did it, Canes! You did it, Tulsa! You graduated from the WALP seminar! You're feeling good! You're feeling good! A whole lot better tonight! I feel the egos! I feel the self-confidence! Way to go, brother! You did it! You did it, little sister! Way to go, my brother! I tell you what! I made a promise that if you faced your fears and you graduated from the WALP seminar, I would do my favorite circus stunt. People ask me all the time, they say, Jim, what is your favorite circus stunt? I put my face in broken glass and let a member of the audience step on the back of my head. Skin toughening. Learned it in the Republic of Yemen, where they're world famous for headbutting contests. Nice shoes. Come on up. What's your name? Huh? Give Vanessa a big hand. Come on up, Vanessa. Come on up. Vanessa, let's go on over here to BB. There you go. Turn towards the audience. What's this say? Nice boots. Wanna fuck. All right. Well, those boots are going to be on my head. Verify these are real glass bottles. Bottles going in the bag. Bag goes onto the ground. Vanessa, this is your part of the show. You don't have to hit them hard. Just break them with the hammer. You can take that hammer from Vanessa. Vanessa. Take that hammer. All right. Vanessa with a hammer is retarded. I'd rather put my face in glass. No, that's all right. She gets even real quick. Verify that is real glass. I didn't switch bags. Don't put your hand in there too fast. You're not me. I bet you're happy for that. Right now, I wish I was you. What? Oh, didn't this guy says, go, Dad, go. Tell me something I can respond to. What's this go, Dad, go shit? Hey, I can't be your father. I didn't have change for $1 that night. But your brother did. Brother calls your mother pussy. All right, no jumpy, all right? No jumping. Shit, wait a minute, no, goddammit! Somebody put some paper in here. Hey, paper cuts are the worst. All right, before I risk my life by putting my face in broken glass, I got a commercial announcement for you. At the end of tonight's show, we're gonna be selling Jim Rose Circus t-shirts right off of this stage. Now then, if you never want to pay for anything again in the rest of your life, go into the store, take that television, grab that carton of milk, movies, concerts, free. Buy the new Jim Rose Circus t-shirt, put it on backwards because it says security. People will think you work there. I've also got that new book, Angles, I told you about. Inside it's hundreds and hundreds of bar bets. You'll never pay for a beer again in your life. All those scams like that receipt scam, $100 an hour scams. It also tells you how to start a cult. It tells you how to brainwash people. It tells you how to bend that spoon to know how much money's in somebody's pocket. It tells you how to do every one of the circus stunts. It's all in that book. Book and a t-shirt, $20 right after this show. But let's finish this show and finish it right. When I count to 3, everybody scream, throw your ass in the glass. Don't let me down. Tulsa, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Vanessa, they sound serious. Well, I gotta tell you, Tulsa, for you, I would do anything. This is how I shave. No jumpy. No jumpy. Hey, shut up, lady. Don't encourage her. I don't slap the sailors' cocks out of your mouth when you're working. But your brother did. All right, no jumpy. All right, stand on my head, but don't jump.
It's the lowest form of entertainment. Thank you for coming, Vanessa. Get the fuck off my head.
Give Vanessa a big hand. She's a star, brothers and sisters. She's a star. Now then, what I want to tell you is this. We've got that book, we got the t-shirts, we're going to start selling them off of the stage. We're going to come back out and autograph them for you. So that means they're collectible. And if they do not triple in value within 70 years, I'll give you your money back. Find my dead ass. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the reasons I got arrested last night is because they heard about the book that I have. I must say legally that I'm not encouraging you to try the different things in the new book, Angles. I've said my fucking piece. Tulsa police, you treated me nice after you fucking arrested me. And the rest of you, you're fucking great. Thank you for letting us come. We'll be out in 2 minutes to sign these. Come on up and buy a book or a t-shirt. Jim Rose saying see you in 2 minutes. May all your days be circus days. Thank you, Caves.